On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Bonter 25-00735.
Good morning, Your Honor. Haley Swirsky McGill on behalf of the people. I do need to make a motion to practice under Michigan Court Rule 8.120. I have APA Abigail Pepper to my left.
We're still doing motions? We're still doing that? What are we getting started?
Unfortunately, yes, Your Honor.
Motion is granted.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Bonter, who is standing to my left. I may approach with advice of writing plea sheet.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Bonter was scheduled for a jury trial today. And so he's going to plead to exactly what he was offered in April.
Yes, Your Honor. The delays have been figuring out numbers.
We don't gotta continue to trial and have a final pre-trial. I set up a final pre-trial May 19th. Nothing about let's figure out numbers. Jury trial, June 23rd. So we figured out the restitution amount.
That is incorrect, Your Honor. We have not. People would ask that this is set for restitution hearing.
That's correct.
So we sort of planned in April and had a restitution hearing and moved on with our lives. Is the witness here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me first address this. You want to accept the offer and plead guilty to one count of malicious destruction of property, 200 to 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury? Yes. Put your hand down. I have an advice of rights and plea information sheet. It's 2 pages. There is a signature page here. Is that your signature?
It is.
Did you go over these rights?
I do.
You understand all the rights here?
I do.
Do you want to waive these rights today?
Yes.
Is anyone promising you anything to get you to give these rights up?
No.
Understand that you're going to waive your right to the presumption that you are innocent. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to maintain your innocence and require that the prosecution first prove your guilt by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
I do.
You have the right to maintain silence and not have silence be used against you. The right to subpoena witnesses to testify at your trial on your behalf. The right to see, hear, or question any witness that the prosecutor intends to call against you. You understand those rights?
I do.
Okay. You're currently on probation or on parole. You understand that by pleading guilty, it could result in a conviction that may need to be reported to your current employer, or you may need to put it on a future job application.
I do.
It also could have impact on travel or immigration status. You understand that?
I do.
And are you accepting this offer because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
As to count 1, that's just destruction of property, how do you plead?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bonter, is it true that on or about January 20th, 2025, you were located at or near 500 East Oakland Avenue?
That's it.
Is that in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan?
It is.
And at that time, while in that location, did you do damage to the personal property of a Dontrell Tecarice James trainer?
Yes.
And that damage was to a vehicle, correct?
Correct.
And you believe the damage to that vehicle to be over $200 in value,
I do.
but less than $1,000?
I do.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from the prosecution?
None, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea. I find the plea to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Okay, so today was the date scheduled for a jury trial, and you have a witness here, but we don't have any evidence to prove amount of damages or restitution yet.
At this time, Your Honor, we just have estimates, and so we're waiting to get the actual receipt.
Okay, has the work been done?
There has been one bill. We're also waiting on what insurance.
That's good.
Covered on that.
Yeah,
Insurance
and we're
information.
waiting on the insurance information as well.
Okay. Sentencing's August 18th, 9 a.m. That'll also be the time for the restitution hearing. When you leave here, you go down one floor, checking with probation. I am ordering that you undergo interview for pre-sentence interview. I don't know if you received a victim impact statement, but we will be seeking that as well.
And no, I did want to make sure it was noted on the record. We do have a category of fines and costs. I just want to make sure it's on the record.
I should advise you that I don't have to accept that off. That's between you two. I'm not a party to that. So I'll decide how I'm going to sentence you at the time of your sentencing. I decide that I'm going to put you on probation or put you in jail. I'll give you the option to withdraw your plea. You understand that?
I do.
Do you have any questions at this time, sir?
I do not.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right, we'll get you down to probation. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Jennifer Mchuan, 24-03360, appearance please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Mchuan.
You have a witness.
No, Your Honor.
Have you had contact with the witness?
Not since Friday, Your Honor.
Defense motion to dismiss.
You spoke to your witness on Friday?
I did not personally speak to her. Our victim advocate Chastity, the victim advocate with LPD, actually.
And victim said what? That
That
they were coming to
she-
court?
That she was planning on coming to court. Our victim advocate was here this morning, also tried to get a hold of her all morning and hasn't.
You've seen this victim in court since February. The motion is granted without prejudice. The people have the right to reissue this charge against you within the statutory time frame. Do you understand that? Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a question? Yes.
It was just about, because I asked you last time about getting my stuff from the house, and I don't know if that was ever, nobody got in contact with me telling me to go, so I never went.
I have a note here from May 19th where I amended your bond to allow you the weekend to go get your items from the residence.
Yes, but you also said wait till Friday, that Friday to hear from my lawyer, so I
Okay.
never heard from my lawyer before the prosecutor.
That's on the people, Your Honor. I have been unable to get in contact with Ms. McEwen. Only our advocate has, so I will have to,
Sorry, with the,
or I apologize with the
I was
victim.
gonna
in this
say,
case. Yeah, I apologize, my bad. I have been unable to get in contact with her on the phone. Only our advocate has spoken with her, so I haven't reached out to Mr. Raleigh about that because I haven't been able to get in contact with her.
Well, there's your options. Case is being dismissed. There's a bond violation. It looks like that was, I don't know whoever resolved it, that's gonna be dismissed too. And within the next 72 hours, whatever's in lien that says there's a no contact order is removed. So you can make your own contact. and get your
Okay.
stuff.
Thank you.
You should do it peacefully so you don't end up back in
Very
court.
peacefully, I promise. Very peaceful.
All right. You're all set?
Thank
We'll
you.
get you a copy of this dismissal in just a moment. I'm signing it now.
Thank you.
At 8:30? Does he have an attorney?
I believe it's Mr. Riley.
Mr. Riley, are you representing Mr. Jeffries?
yes, ma'am.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Michael Jeffries, 25-01456, appearance please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Jeffries.
Mr. Jeffries, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for a pretrial for domestic violence and malicious destruction of property less than 200 Was there an offer on this at this time?
There was an offer, Your Honor, and that was to plead to count one, the domestic violence, and dismiss the MGOP, but the count one would be with restitution.
At this time, Your Honor, we would ask that this matter be separate from pre-trial and trial dates.
Final pre-trial July 7th at 8 a.m. Final pre-trial July 7th, 8 o'clock in the morning, in person at the court. And jury trial September 8th at 8 a.m. Jury trial September 8th, 8 a.m. in person at the court. Mr. Jeffries, do you have any questions for the court?
No, I do not.
Your offer expires at the time of final pre-trial. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing on behalf of the people.
Oh, Your Honor.
All set. State of Michigan versus Christopher Deng, 25-01344 appearance, please.
Fortune Miguel on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Deng.
Deng has a final pretrial for assault and battery. The necessary witnesses present.
They are not, Your Honor.
No communication with the witness, I'm assuming.
No, we've tried and failed.
Okay, counsel.
Defense motion to dismiss.
Motion to dismiss is granted without prejudice. They can reissue the charge against you within this statutory timeframe. Don't ever stand in a courtroom with your hands in your pocket. I'm assuming you have a shank when you do that, okay? Hands by your side. You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll get you a copy of dismissal in just a moment. This is the matter of the state of Michigan versus Brittany James, 25-00579. Is Brittany James present? This is a final pretrial for assault and battery. This is here.
No, Your Honor. I don't believe I put my name on the record for this case.
Oh, yeah, record, please.
Yeah, no problem. Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter on behalf of Ms. James, who's standing to my right.
The people do not have the necessary witnesses present to proceed. The people have reached out and been unsuccessful getting in contact with those witnesses.
Given that, Your Honor, I'd make a motion to dismiss.
Motion to dismiss is granted without prejudice. The people do have the right to reissue that charge against you if they do make contact with the necessary witness. You understand that? Do you have any questions about that? Okay. On the record now on the matter of the city of Lansing versus Brittany Nicole James, 25-01423. I have a complaint here that you need to be arraigned on for assault and battery. The allegations of that on or about March 7th, 2023. At the area at or near 600 South Sycamore, city of Lansing, that you did allegedly commit an assault or assault and battery upon a Lynette Warner and L at that vicinity, and that this was contrary to the provisions of the Code of Lansing being 658.01. That's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty, because the city matter, is 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. You understand that charge and the maximum penalty? You have the right to proceed to trial. You have the right to jury trial. You're presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to carry that presumption throughout the pendency of this trial and to be deemed not guilty if the city can't prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are represented by the public defender. I'm assuming you're going to be represented by the public defender in this matter. I don't know that Ms. Sutter knew that there was a warrant.
I did not, Your Honor, and we would have to complete a new intake form for that case.
Okay, I'll note here that you're making a request for court appointed counsel, okay? The court will also enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. Again, you have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, the matter is going to go all the way to a jury trial, okay? Is that a yes? I don't know what "mhm" means on the record, so that's why I'm asking, okay. And you don't have a question at this time about your rights? Okay, this is a matter, I don't know why it was in pending status since 2023, but the warrant was just signed by Magistrate Wilmore, looks like, on the 13th of May, so otherwise we could have addressed this a while ago. Nonetheless, your bond in this matter is going to be set in the amount of 100 personal recognizance. The only confusion concern that I have is, and they didn't give me an affidavit of probable cause here, is who L is. It says it's only one count, assault and battery upon Lynette Warner and L.
I have no idea.
So I don't know how to issue a no contact order for an L. So I won't be able to deal with that, but I will issue a no contact order for whoever Lynette Warner is. You're not to be within 500 feet, actually 1,000 feet, 1,000 feet of wherever that person is, okay? You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to possess or purchase a firearm or dangerous weapon. You're not to use drugs or alcohol. You need to report to all of your future court dates. Your next court date's going to be in person I'm sorry, not in person. It'll be via Zoom. What is it?
July 8th at 9:30.
July 8th at 9:30 for a pre-trial. You can appear via Zoom if you have video, okay? If you appear via Zoom, there needs to be no background noise. You can't be driving or doing anything else. And then you need to be in a position appropriate for court. Do you have any questions about that? We'll get you a notice to appear. Any additional matters? Well, this is not your.
Nothing further. Your Honor.
Thank you. I think, did we get a copy of this thing?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You think this is, this is Brittany Nicole. Oh, Miss Nicole needs a copy of her dismissal.
For Deng.
Miss James, that is. Can you let her know that she can wait for a copy of her dismissal?
Okay, she's waiting.
Okay. Mr. Bisby, is your phone on?
All right, you want to address something briefly?
Which matter?
Christopher Deng, he has a GPS that we just used piece of dismissed today. Just want to make sure that's clear.
So, sorry. Thanks, go ahead. Okay, State of Michigan versus Trade Quan Profit, 25-01187, appearance, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Profit, who is standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Profit has a final trial for domestic violence. Do you have witnesses here?
We do not, Your Honor. I've been unable to get in contact with those witnesses.
Your Honor, I would make a motion to dismiss.
Motion for dismissal is granted without prejudice. The people do have the right to reissue this charge against you. Do you have any questions? Were you here when I advised someone that they should not have their hands in their pockets?
I was managing. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Okay, we'll get your copy of dismissal in just a moment, okay? This is the State of Michigan versus Deborah Rowitz, 25-01168. Appearance, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Ms. Rowitz, who is approaching counsel table now.
Okay, Ms. Rowitz has a final pretrial. This is for electronic communication and domestic violence. Witnesses.
No, Your Honor, I have been in contact with this witness. He is in his 70s and has, I believe his brother said, over 6 medical conditions that make it difficult for him to come. His brother was in attendance today before he had to work, and also I've talked to him on the phone as well. They had indicated that in order for him to come in person for a jury trial, that he would need, excuse me, an ambu-cab. So he was unable to attend today.
Okay, so it is the victim's intent to participate, but he needs special accommodation.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, I see here the offer was to plead guilty to count 2 or dismiss count 1 with 769.4A.
Your Honor, I would still make a motion to dismiss today. The witness was subpoenaed. I don't have a whole lot of confidence that he will actually appear for a jury trial, and I would still continue my motion to dismiss
What is this based off of?
the non-appearance of the witness on a subpoena.
Okay, but needs special accommodations. I think that we have a requirement under the law to provide accommodations to people with disabilities, so I can't dismiss the case. If they need an ambulance, yeah, I think they need arrangements to be made for that purpose.
Understood, Your Honor.
The brother did appear
That is correct, Your Honor.
today, which is an indication that the family intends to move forward. They sent someone and just not come. So I don't have a reason to, or a reasonable basis to grant the motion. The motion is denied.
Understood, Your Honor. I just wanted to make my record.
No problem. I wanted to make mine too. And so this will be set for a trial. It's currently set for trial August 4th. I don't know what it entails or how much it requires to get an ambu-cab. The other thing is, I don't really have an ADA compliant courtroom. And so how do I get the person in here? I'm not sure. So if you could find out some more information and see if this is a situation where we need to extend the date and possibly seek the use of a larger courtroom, could accommodate, because I don't know the condition of the witness, but I know that we can't even get anybody with a wheelchair through that barrier there.
Yes, Your Honor, I will do that.
And then I'm gonna keep it set for August 4th, but I'll wait to hear back. That communication can be sent via email with the public defense included if we need to change the date to accommodate whatever the medical condition is, so that they can get into a courtroom. And also that way I'll know if I need to try to find a time to use the larger courtroom.
Okay, as emailing adding.
If you could email, add, that's completely fine.
Okay.
And then, let us know if we need to do additional time or if that witness could make it actually into this courtroom,
Understood, Your Honor.
considering the space accommodations. Do you have any questions at this time, ma'am, for the court? Okay, we'll get you a notice to appear. Understanding that that date right now is not exactly set in stone, but your jury trial is August 4th at this time, okay? At 8 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, I suppose a small bond modification request. I believe Ms. Rowitz still has items at the complaining witness's home that he would like gone as well. She was told at arraignment she could take a police officer there to remove things, or police are advising her they just don't have the manpower to accommodate that. Would the court be willing to allow a bond modification to allow her without police to return to that home to remove things?
You're supposed to provide an address as to where she was staying within, by the close of business. Did she do that?
I did try, I'm sorry, I did try to do that and I called several times at the court to see where it was supposed to go.
Okay, what is the address?
3336 Starboard Drive.
Say it again. 3336.
Starboard Drive, Holland, Michigan.
You spell that, the street.
STARBOARD DRIVE.
Okay, thank you.
Holland, Michigan. I am staying in the shelter here, but I'm not allowed to change my address to that.
Okay, and it sounds like she can maybe communicate with the brother to get the stuff that you need.
She's willing to, she's just been concerned about no contact order violations.
I'll allow contact with the brother for the limited purpose of getting your items.
And Your Honor, just to clarify, I know normally if a defendant is allowed to return to a home to move items, that is with the understanding that the complaining witness is gone from the home. Obviously, I think that's gonna be a difficulty here.
How many items in some?
I think it's a fair amount, Your Honor. It's gonna take some time. and
Like
effort.
moving out, kind of.
Essentially, yes.
Okay, and I don't know, again, the medical condition or how ambulatory this alleged victim is. And if that's feasible, I'm assuming, I guess you all need to work with the brother to see what the options are.
Yeah, I can work with Ms. Sutter on making sure.
And then she'll need time, I'm assuming, to get her stuff out. So then I'm gonna have to amend the no contact order for that time so that she can get her items out. I just need to know what that time is going to be. So I'm going to allow first the no contact order so that you can assist in making arrangements to get over there. But obviously the attorneys need to be involved in this because someone's got to figure out if the victim can even leave for that purpose. Or at least, I don't know if this is a house, there's an area of the house that they can go to that she does not have to access during that time and the third party is present while she retrieves her items. If I can get the time frame, then I can amend the PA 53 for the time frame that you can go get your stuff.
Thank you.
No problem. Any additional matters?
Nothing for the people.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Kenya Allen, 25-01574, appearance.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Today was the date scheduled for a pre-trial, and Kenya Allen was not approved for public defense counsel. Were you advised of that?
No, I was not emailed or mailed anything to make that in contact with her the address that I was.
Okay, can you speak up a little louder? You said
I'm
you were
sorry.
not provided.
I wasn't provided any information about me being denied or approved, either by mail or email. The email, I was never asked about my email when I was downtown. And then also the address that I did provide, they didn't send anything, but the address that I have on my ID, I cannot be over there. So,
Okay.
or have no contact against.
Okay. Well, the denial was because you're not indigent, meaning you make too much money. Correct. So you have a couple of options. You can appeal the denial and provide further information about your financial status. You can hire private counsel at your own expense, or you can represent yourself. Which one of those do you think you might want to bill yourself at this time?
Well, I tried to appeal, try to reapply.
You did try already?
Yeah, I just tried to call and I was like, well, the last 3 paychecks that I had. And trying to get my apartment, which I do have now, I just have to sign my lease. And put down the date
So you
down there.
provided some further financial information?
Yeah, so. And
So
it's
you did
well
that today?
over- Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we have to wait to see what happens with that appeal process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just trying to get the government so I can start my education and Michigan University.
You said you do your education where?
I just got accepted to U of M Ann Arbor for my BSN. So I have to get this done in order.
So you living, are you living here or there?
I'm living here in Lansing, but I'm staying with a cousin for right now for the next 2 weeks. I move in July 3rd.
In Ann Arbor?
No,
Oh,
in Lansing. I work at McLaren during the
oh, okay, got
So
it.
it's 3 minutes away from the hospital. It kind of works. And it's paying for school, but out of pocket. So the paying for school since my prereqs.
Got it. So I'm confused. Do they have a campus here?
They do, but I'm willing to commute.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. I am. We don't even have an attorney at this time, so I'm going to reset this for pre-trial.
July 7th at 10.
July 7th at 10. You can appear via Zoom. You do understand that, correct?
That would definitely work.
Okay, you can appear via Zoom for a final pre-trial. You just, can't be working on a patient or anything like that. I understand if you have to log in while you're still working.
Oh, yeah,
and mute
for sure.
yourself.
Yeah, I'll be.
And turn your camera off while we wait. But when it's time, when I call your name, you need to be ready or in a position to conduct court business,
Yes.
okay? We'll get you a notice. I was going to set a final pre-trial, but you probably need to see if you're gonna get an attorney first.
Yeah.
And then we'll move to that stage. Do you have any questions for the court at this time?
If I do not find a court for.
If you
I
do
mean,
not-
not court appointed, sorry for that.
If you're not granted court appointed?
No, I'm not. Sorry, if I can't find representation, that's why I call you guys and just show up to court this representation.
Well, at this time, I thought you completed an appeal, correct?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
saying.
so we're waiting. You
I'm
have
saying-
not. I'm getting indication that you
Oh, I'm
probably
sorry.
haven't. You have not completed the appeal, so
Have
you
not
need to complete the
completed it.
appeal process.
But I asked her, I'm like, well, what's the income amount
Okay,
for that? I'm like, well, my last paycheck's to my last.
so you
paycheck
believe you have
was
information that would make you now qualified?
not qualified. I'm still not qualified.
Even with your new pay stubs, you believe you're still not gonna be qualified, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I make too much money.
Okay, so then you would need to hire your own attorney.
Right, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
So you need to contact the state bar referral line and see if they can give you some people that you can be referred to get counsel. I'm going to give you a little bit more than the 7th now that I thought it was for you to do
I'm
an
sorry.
appeal. I'm going to give you a little bit more time because you might have to come up with some money.
Through July 22nd.
July 22nd at 10 o'clock. Will be your next court date. If you are not able to hire an attorney, or you decide that you're just not gonna be able to financially do it, you do have the option of representing yourself. It is, you are facing domestic violence and malicious destruction of personal property, both of which are criminal actions, both are misdemeanors, 90 days in jail. So they're serious charges. There's a lot of court rules, and you've not even gotten any discovery. You probably don't even know what discovery means. And so that the information that there, or the evidence that they're allegedly using against you, that they would need to turn over to the attorney. But if you represent yourself, then you would have to seek that, to see how you can defend yourself. And then typically we set it for final pretrial, because that helps streamline negotiations, and it also helps to see, or for the court to determine if there's an actual witness that's going to participate in this process. So we'll get to that if necessary after July 22nd. Okay. Any additional questions today? Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing on behalf of the people.
All right, you're all set, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. Someone else on, or is it downstairs? Or Jerry?
Was in custody on Friday. I will say she also had a pretrial and 55th at the exact same time today.
Oh, that's probably.
I've been speaking to her attorney over there. He's getting mixed information from that court, whether she was directed here or there.
Not here.
She also was in custody on Friday, and I don't.
That's what I have, that she was in custody. That's what I'm asking. Were they supposed to put her on the Polycom,
That's
or?
what I believe. I do know her bond changed in 55th on Friday, but I don't know if that resulted in her release.
Not on this morning, Joe.
She's not on the jail list.
This morning, well, yeah, like on the roster. So she must have
She
been released.
She might have been released. Okay, is Julia Lovejoy here? This is the state of Michigan versus Julia Lovejoy. 25-01628 appearances.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Lovejoy.
Okay, Ms. Lovejoy has a free trial for assault and battery. Or 2 counts, that is. How are we proceeding?
This time, Your Honor, we request final pretrial on properties.
Is there an offer?
There is no offer at this time, Your Honor.
Final pretrial July 7th at 8 a.m. And jury trial September 8th.
Final pre-trial, July 7th, 8 a.m. in person at the court. Jury trial, September 8th, 8 a.m. in person at the court, okay? That- What is, Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Do you have any questions? We'll get you a notice to appear. Any additional matters from the record?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. Thank you. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is rated.
This is the state of Michigan versus James Ward, 23-01772, appearance please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Ward, who is standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Ward has a assault and battery pre-trial today. Was there an offer at all?
There is no offer at this time, Your Honor.
Given that, Your Honor, we request a final pre-trial jury trial.
Final retrial July 7th at 8 AM. Jury trial September 15th at 8 AM.
Final pre-trial, July 7th, 8 AM in person at the court. If this continues, the jury trial is scheduled September 15th at 8 AM, also in person at the court. Do you have any questions? Okay, the picture that was put here. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing on behalf of the people.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're all set. Who's representing Tyrese Turner?
That's me, Your Honor.
And what about Purnell? She's a
Your Honor, I was
show
just trying to
cause.
find out.
That's a
on
show
the-
cause, actually.
Okay. I forget why she was here.
Are we ready on Turner?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tyrese Turner? On the record in the matters of the state of Michigan versus Tyrese Turner, I have 24-03-554, 555, 556, 557, 558, 559. Council appearance.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Turner, who is joining us via Zoom.
Mr. Turner has a series of dog license vaccination, which I believe we extended to allow him to come into compliance. Something about a dog licensing.
The Ingham County Animal Control was putting on a clinic last month to assist in reduced cost licenses and vaccinations.
Right, okay. How are we proceeding?
The people did receive documentation of compliance, Your Honor, so the people would move to have these various all 6 cases dismissed.
No objection.
Okay, your cases are dismissed. You're all set, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
For Jared, I'm going to issue a bench warrant for holding for 48 hours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is the matter of the state of Michigan versus Janine Purnell, 24-03159. Ms. Purnell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, today was scheduled for a show cause because you were here in April, where you pled guilty to allowing an unlicensed person to operate. Your fine was $200. You said you'd pay, but you have not paid.
Yes, I end up having to let my job go. And I got a meeting today with my old boss. To get my job back, and I believe I'm gonna get it back because I talked to one of the other managers last night.
Okay, so how much time are you looking for, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
How much time do you need before you can make a payment?
I should be able to make a payment by the 3rd.
How much you gonna pay?
Can I just say 50, but it might be the whole thing, but 50 for sure?
Okay, I'll note that you'll make at least a minimum payment of $50, and then you'll make a payment of $50 per month until paid in full, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're all set.
Yep.
State of Michigan versus Demond Bisby, 25-00169, appearances.
Kristen McGill on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Bisby.
It was the date scheduled for sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report. From the recommendations, you did get a copy of that, correct?
Yes, sir.
To make corrections, update, or deletion.
Believe it to be factually accurate.
You can make that application.
All right, after reviewing the pre-sentence report, my client, I think the recommendations are fair. Mr. Bisbee certainly acknowledges that he has had some struggles with mental health. And he was experiencing that at the time of this incident. And he is engaged with CMH since he's been out of custody. Is making progress toward that, improving his mental health outlook.
You might have a statement that you wanted to make it on.
Just want to get this process over with.
Process.
With the process, with all these charges that I had back to back.
You did have a period of time where you were here quite often. And I understand you have a history of some mental health and you've been prescribed medication, correct? And hopefully you're currently on that medication, taking it as it's prescribed, correct? Hopefully that helps resolve whatever behavioral issue it is that causes you to have the engagements with the law enforcement that you have. And so that's the way to get the process over with. The process is you've got to remain compliant with your mental health so that you can comply with the law. You understand that? And so the recommendation is to do a term of probation to monitor that. And so I'm going to adopt the recommendation. There will be a sentence of 90 days in Gibbon County Jail with credit for 52. I'll suspend the balance of 38 days. Upon successful completion of 6 months probation. While on probation, you have the following conditions. You need to continue your mental health counseling. Remain compliant with all of your medication. You understand that? I am going to order that you obtain employment. provide verification of that to probation. Do you understand that? Not to be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. Not to possess alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance unless you have a valid prescription. Not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You will be required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and urinalysis testing. You have to pay the cost of that, okay? There's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for each month of probation. So if you do 6 months, that'll be $180 for probation oversight. There's a $75 crime victim rights fee that will be assessed with a $50 state minimum cost that will be assessed, and I will waive discretionary fines and costs. Total fines and costs $325, okay? Lastly, there's an advice and rights as to probation. You have the right to request early discharge from probation. Once you've completed half of the original term ordered, I'm only putting you on 6 months. You do 90 days with no violations, you can make a request for early discharge, okay? It means you had to show proof that you got a job within those 90 days and proof that you've been compliant with your mental health counseling and taking all your medications. No new cases, no new violations. You understand that? Do you have any questions?
No.
If you want to make a request for early discharge from probation, you can get the paperwork off the court website, or you can request it from your probation officer. When you complete that paperwork, you need to file a copy of it with probation, and then you need to serve a copy of that on the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor will have 14 days to object in writing to any request that you make for early discharge, okay? If I set it for a hearing on your request, you have the right to hire an attorney to represent you, but you do not have a right to court-appointed counsel to represent you for such purpose, okay? Do you have any questions at this time?
No.
You'll check in with probation today before you leave. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further from the defense.
Nothing I would have to do for your honor.
Thank you. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Deanna Parker, 23-02872. Parents, please.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Ms. Parker.
I have a pre-sentence report from November. Did you get a copy of that report, and did you go over it with your client?
Yes, sir.
You need to make updates, corrections, or deletions.
No, Your Honor.
I they should have given me an updated criminal history or something. This is 7 months old, so I need to wait for Sean to come back. You can have a seat. Like nobody except for Purnell showed up for show cause. Someone else? Josh, can you get me the updated, you see the CCH for them? Okay, back on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Deanna Parker. Okay, do you have any updates that we need to make to the pre-sentence report?
And on behalf of the defense,
Make your application.
Your Honor, to speak with my client. It was true in November, still true. She certainly regrets the way this situation fell. Does not want to have any involvement or any issues with the victim on this case going forward. We thank the period of probation is appropriate, and I hope that you grant the 7648 status. I know that's something that can incentivize, completing probation properly and staying in the job program in the future. But I think my client certainly will be compliant.
Does your client have a statement to make it all?
I do want to apologize for not showing up for backing up in the. I was working at a job seasonal, I was trying to pay my tickets, because I had warrants for tickets here. And then I was trying to pay my probation. I did call Joe something, that was my probation officer that you was gonna assign me to. He told me to call you guys, I did. I should have turned my stuff in sooner.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for addressing that. You read your pre-sentence report, the recommendation, and then your criminal history. This is the only thing on your criminal history. Hopefully it was enough of a lesson for you to not have a future criminal history. You are a candidate that would be eligible for special status, so that if you are successful with probation, this could be non-public in your record. So I will grant the 769.4A. And I do recognize, I think that the offer was to do 769.48 or higher, so you are requesting the 769.48, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you will do 6 months of probation versus 9. The reason why I'm amending the recommendation to shorten that amount is because you will not get the opportunity to make a request for early discharge. So I'm going to reduce it and give you an opportunity to have a short period, so long as you're compliant. You will report via Zoom to probation. While on probation, you're not to have any contact with the victim in this matter. Cortez Briggs. And you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior while you're on probation. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance. You will be required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and your analysis testing. Not only order that for 90 days. If there's no issues, then I'll suspend the testing. You have to be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. Do you have any questions so far? You can maintain your employment. You have 2 jobs, is that the one?
I'm just waiting on a background check. I'm currently in school though.
Okay, so my pre-sentence report told me that you were employed at Dollar General and at Amazon.
I was.
Okay, so when I asked, was there any update, that would be an update. So you're not employed?
In school though.
You're in school full-time?
Yeah.
Where?
About education. Okay, yeah. Starting Wednesday. Classes.
GD classes? Okay, what time of day is that?
I picked the schedule from 12 to 3, because we got like a 9 and 12 and 12 to 3.
Okay, so that's not full-time.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so what are you gonna do for employment? What is your plan for employment?
I'm just waiting on the background check for this nursing applying to.
I'm going to order that you obtain and maintain employment, and that you complete your GED program and provide verification of that, okay? The $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for each month of probation. So for 6 months, that's $180. There is a $75 crime victim rights fee that you must pay, plus a $50 state minimum cost that you must pay. I don't see that restitution or any other fees have been ordered. I'll waive discretionary fines and costs. So your total fines and costs is $305. You'll have the opportunity to make monthly payments on that, okay? Again, I've already advised you that you do not, because of the nature of the charge, you're on probation, now you do not have the right to request early discharge, okay? We'll check in with your probation officer or with the probation office, that is, before you leave today. And then you'll hear from them soon to sign the completed judgment of sentence, okay? Do you have any questions at this time? Any additional matters for the record? You're all set. Jeremy Morgan on, gonna be on polygraph?
That was my understanding.
Mr. Seabrook.
Ready? Good 6 minutes. Right?
Corey Springer,
Yes, ma'am.
on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Corey Springer, that's 25-01621. Mr. Springer, my understanding is that you declined court-appointed counsel. Is that accurate?
I was trying to seek my own counsel from the time being, and I was not able to obtain any counsel on the outside.
So what do you intend to do? You want to represent yourself, or did you want to make a request for the public defense?
I would like to make a request for a public defense, please.
Okay, we'll have someone log in and do an intake.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Springer, I'm going to reset your matter so that your application can be processed for the public defense, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
I'll give you a new date,
July 7th at 10.
July 7th at 10.
July 7th at 10. Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions for the court?
Nope, it'll be the same way through Zoom meeting.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
You're all
No
set.
further.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye. It's George Wilson. Mr. Arnett, are you here for something?
What's that? Oh, wrong courtroom, sorry.
Mr. White?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see, okay. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Ariana Eric Wynn, 25-00343, appearance please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Jamie White here on behalf of the defendant who's also on the Zoom call.
Okay, today was the date that was set for a pre-trial. I think this was a matter that was streamed for sobriety court. And she was deemed clinically eligible. I think we reset it to have the paperwork done, but I don't know if it's been done.
Yeah, we're very close, Your Honor. She's attended the two sentencings, and East Lansing has required. The paperwork has been completed to my understanding, and at this point, I think it just needs the prosecutor's signature. So we could probably set this for, I guess I do have a question that hasn't been addressed yet as to whether or not she would do the plea in front of you, Your Honor, or East Lansing. And so with that question out there, I think at this point, we would request that it just be set for a plea so that the T's can be dotted and the I's can be crossed. But I do believe everything has been addressed.
I believe that the plea is required to be taken at East Lansing.
Okay, very good. Well, we can take the initiative to get that date set with them, Your Honor, if the court would so.
Well, once we get the paperwork, then we will transfer it. She can take the plea there. And then if the plea fails for whatever reason, they'll just send it back and explain why the plea failed.
Okay.
But they would need the file before they could even take a plea.
So the person that actually is handling the transfer is out until Wednesday, but I suspect we can get this accomplished by the end of the week.
Okay, so we'll reset this for the next week.
Thank you.
July 7th.
July 7th. Does July 7th work for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
At 10 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Not from the defense.
Okay, all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Why does George keep logging in? What's going on? On the record, in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Jeremy Morgan, 24-02882, parents, please.
Haley Fortuna Gill on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Morgan, who joins us via Polygon.
Okay, Mr. Morgan had a pre-trial for assault and battery scheduled for today. Is there an offer extended on this?
There is not, Your Honor.
How do you want to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're going to request a final pretrial and jury trial date. And since I know the date the court has been setting all morning, Mr. Morgan has a Clinton County pretrial set on July 7th.
Trial July 21st at 8 a.m.
July 21st at 8 a.m. for final pretrial in person at the court.
Jury trial September 15th.
September 15th for jury trial. Mr. Morgan, do you have any questions today for the court?
Just if I can get a bond.
Oh, I'm addressing that in a second, Mr. Morgan.
Okay, then no, I don't have no questions. Nothing.
Okay, are you addressing bonds?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. There's currently a no bond remand set for Mr. Morgan on this file. I believe that was a result of a missed court date in March. He had a change in address, as well as I believe his mother was hospitalized for some severe issues at the time. I would be asking the court today to set a bond for Mr. Morgan. I recognize a personal or cognizance bond is perhaps a little unlikely. I would ask the court to consider 10% bond on his behalf today. He does have a stable housing address now, stable contact information, a fiance who I've spoken with at length, as well as employment waiting for him upon his release.
Okay, so Mr. Morgan failed to appear in February.
I apologize.
Doesn't look like he self-surrendered on this.
He was transferred from Clinton County here, Your Honor.
Okay, so he was arraigned by Magistrate Faulkner on a Sunday. It said that he told her that he didn't appear because he was sick, couldn't make it. You're sick and you couldn't make it on the day of. A, you call your attorney and the court, but B, 6 months almost went by from the time that he was allegedly sick and he didn't show up to court.
Yes, ma'am, I called up there and they told me they would get back to me. They never got back to me.
I don't know who told you they were gonna get back to you. I have no idea who would tell you they would get back to you. No one in the clerk's office is getting back to you, that's for sure, about your failure to appear in court. The other thing is, you did not appear in court for 6 months and you knew you had a warrant.
I didn't know that they gave me another court date or not. I moved addresses, so I never got anything in the mail.
Who did you think was responsible for figuring that out?
Myself, ma'am.
Okay, so
I do apologize.
how did you think that these days that you talk about, these mysterious days, the only day is you. You're responsible for coming to court on the date that you're set. And if there
Yes,
are
ma'am.
extenuating circumstances that you are not able to come on those days, you are the day that's responsible for turning yourself in or coming to the court so that you can get a new court date. No
Yes,
one else,
ma'am.
that's not anyone else's responsibility.
Yes, ma'am. My apologies.
I don't know what this note means. Is it Lena's bail bonds, one of her people? What does that mean?
I spoke to his fiance on Friday. I believe what that's referring to is her plan to
for a bond.
assist in bond. Yeah, once he has one, so she can pick him up and he's got a job. I think that's what
Job where?
He has an asphalt and landscaping job in Holtz that is waiting for him. And I apologize, I don't have the name of that company, but I do know its location.
What's the name of the company?
I have no idea. It's through Lena. Lena has somebody that's that I'm going to work for. They have all that information. My girl got me hooked up with it while I was in here. I started the day after I get released.
Your girlfriend got you a job?
My fiance, yes, upon release.
You don't have to say fiance. It doesn't give you any greater rate by saying fiance. I don't really care what your relationship status is, to be honest. You said girlfriend twice, so I'm assuming it's your girlfriend. But she got you a job, but you don't know the name of the company. Is that what you're saying?
She just got it through Lena's bail bonds. One of the people there, they said they'd hire me upon release. So that I have work and I can pay off my bond.
I'm asking about the job, not about the bonds, people.
I think I know what he's saying,
Okay.
Your Honor, because she mentioned this to me a little bit too, and it took me a minute to figure it out. I believe she has a friendship or working relationship with those bond people independent of the bond job. I think they refer the job to her, so she got him.
It definitely says, in quotes, one of her people.
Yeah, so I believe his fiance, in conjunction with the folks at the bond place, got him a position doing asphalt and landscaping work.
And he must have given this information to the magistrate that he had a job lined up with landscaping. Yes, Lena's bail bonds, one of her people.
That's the same information as fiance gave me on the phone.
What's your address?
3900 Broomway Drive, apartment 110.
What's your phone number?
517-893-9281.
Bond is set in the amount of 2,010%. The no contact order will continue. And you need to come to all of your court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing on behalf of the people.
Nothing further. Thank you.
The next court date is July 21st. In person. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And defendant copy of notice unable to mail, no address to send.
That's correct. The address we had was the 430 North Park Shelter.
There was a number that I'm assuming you recognized. Okay, where's your Mchuan? And then I have left now is the one for Mr. See what that 1:30.